Okay, now I go to their mic.
What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions.
Che Guevara.
Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Stop the sanctions. When do we want it? USA off Venezuela. 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 USA off Venezuela.
What would a Fidel be like for Americans?
What was that?
What would a Fidel be like for Americans?
It would be fantastic. Yeah, that's what we really need.
All right, I'll vote for you.
Okay.
You guys don't know, but I used to be
I got a new trick. I go like this. And I can talk right in. And then I go, you know what happens after I smoke some pot? I imagine myself as a Fidel for America.
Wonderful. That's marvelous.
Let's face, we need fundamental change.
Yes, and we've already got fundamental change. This country no longer is a democracy. This is because we have gotten rid of the people who understood what those particular institutions were about. And now we are now moving into a new form of government, like many of the countries that before we were against, but very soon we will be one of them. So who knows what's next?
The shadow. The shadow.
The shadow knows, yes. And we have to become invisible if we're going to survive this.
Can you imagine a grand waking up of the American people on the year 2020? They see things straight.
A waking up.
Like realizing the wrongdoing of our foreign policy, the murdering, the killing, the bombing.
Yes, but we will never actually fully wake up because that requires us understanding what it means to be human, which is one of the flawed institutions of our Earth.
Well, we can advocate that marijuana can help do that too.
Possibly, but I don't know what
It
type
has to
of.
be more human, don't you think?
I don't know.
Here, try some.
Well, very good, but the thing is that being more human may be worse than just being universal.
Oh, you're afraid about being too human.
Human is something that people push for, but the humans are the ones who have created all the institutions that some people are denouncing, including war and many of the other institutions. We didn't have that before there were humans.
So how does your poor mind suffer through that gracefully by figuring out what the fuck?
Say that again?
What does your mind do with that extra complexity that we can't even, well, actually, I have the answer to that. I'll tell you the answer.
Good.
The answer is I developed a solar compass for navigating humanity so that we can focus in on the good and deal with the bad. We needed a compass, and my compass rests on the single most important item we got, the power of that brightness there, that power's birthday.
Well, that's what people used to believe, but now they're aware that we have black holes, which are so much greater than that particular thing.
You're picking a hole in my sun, buddy. Oh, whoops, we changed the, are we in the past? Yeah, let's do it. Oh, all right. So there we were talking like we were important. This is taking nice pie and everything. Oh, I haven't had it before. I do want to get in here so good.
Venezuela! Venezuela!
So what's this thing you got going with Shay anyhow?
My best friend.
You know,
Always
I
got
have a
my
t-shirt.
back.
I have a t-shirt and it's one little Shay.
You see, I have a little one too. It's very hard to find them little. You know, many years. The one I'm wearing today has it right over the breast. But it's small like that. It's the best.
Hands up, Venezuela! Hands up, Venezuela! Venezuela!
Would you please remind the American people how he died? Shay.
Sure. Oh, I mean, right now, by having his hands cut off in Bolivia.
Hands off the United States.
Hands up, Venezuela! Venezuela!
Venezuela!
So how did Shay die?
Che, he was out too far away from Cuba, which was his lifeblood.
How did he die?
I heard he was.
and the people who captured him were instructed by the U.S. government to kill him, and they did.
That's what I was told by a woman we know who worked for the Village Voice. Marlene.
Hands off! Hands off! Hands off!
I think she did one of the last interviews with him.
Venezuela! Venezuela! Venezuela!
So what should the American people know about our nasty role in Venezuela?
The fact that we basically, beside doing the last attempted coup, which the U.S. orchestrated, the whole collapse was due to interventions from the U.S., starting years ago during the Chavez period with the restriction on gas pricing. And since then, it's been sanctions. How are sanctions going to help? How is taking their assets going to help the Venezuelan people? It's the same rap they always say. We're helping the people by destroying the government and causing unrest. It's about regime change. It's the U.S. dirty hands want their oil.
Well, we prefer puppets.
Yeah. Yes, obviously, because puppets do what the U.S. want.
Would you be considering wearing a hat like this a little bit?
Sure. Uncle Sam is a big bully. I agree with that. And I wonder why, Uncle Sam, not just Uncle Sam, but Trump is living the dream, right? Who could be more of a bully than Mr. Trump? And perfect for the U.S. government, right?
Okay.
Hands off.
I'm your friendly. I lost my head.
Venezuela. USA. Of Venezuela. USA. 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 USA.
coincidence for great to be on your show. I emailed you, I sent you my number. Let's talk, okay? I gotta run. I gotta go back to work.
Where do you work?
I'm up in the Bronx. I work in the after school.
Cuba, sí! Cuba, sí! Woo! Yeah, with the caravan. Cuba, sí!
Hands off Venezuela! Hands off Venezuela!
We need to fight them. We need to be alerted to fight against those people. Thank you very much. Welcome to the people. Thank you, William. Our sister, Gail Walker, who I think everybody knows from IFCO Pastors for Peace. Gail is here. She tells me she's got a 2:11 train to catch, so we're
I'm just putting all the
right
out on the street.
So here's Gail.
I live in New Jersey and the other island in the other country. So I will. So it's an hour train and I've got some people at my house. So I'm gonna be heading out soon. But thank you all for being here. It's really wonderful to see familiar faces. But what's even better is seeing unbelievable. It's important to walk really late to struggle in New York to attend the send-off. We've got the send-off of the 30th President Caravan in Cuba here in New York at the People's Forum next Saturday, June 8th, starting at 7 o'clock. And there's flyers. I think John Waller's here. He's got flyers for those who want to know more. So we hope to see you next Saturday and continue the struggle. Continue to be in resistance. Thank you.
Okay.
A few of us here were in Venezuela the day of the failed coup. And to me, one of the signs of how does the government, is the government afraid of the people? You would never know there was a failed coup that day. That's point number one. So, but the main point I want to make is it's not enough to call for no intervention. People like Bernie Sanders, they're now calling for no military intervention. AOC, she now says no military. It's not enough. It's not enough. The call has to be no military intervention, end the sanctions now, because the sanctions themselves are in fact warfare. They're warfare on the Venezuelan people. So I think the kind of pressure that we have to bring on people who are in the public eye, like Sanders and AOC, is that you have to be calling for an end to the sanctions as well as saying no military intervention.
Thank you, brother. Okay, and you with a group? What's your name?
I work in
Okay, go ahead.
What I want to say is that I'm from Trinidad, but I live in America. And my country started registration yesterday, accepting all of Venezuelans. They did the registration yesterday. It's ongoing until June. Man, woman, children, anybody, and they are going to be given a work permit to stay in the country, work, live, and do whatever for a whole year, and then maybe they're going to renew the permit. They're going to get places to stay and everything, and it's an ongoing registration for Venezuela. They come by the boatloads, and they're not being turned away, and everybody is going to be registered, and they're going to have a place in Trinidad.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Seth Galinsky from the Social Party.
I'm running for public advocate as the candidate of the Socialist Workers' Party. Our campaign and our candidates across the country say U.S. hands off Venezuela, U.S. hands off Cuba, U.S. hands off Iran. The fact is, U.S. imperialism's violation of the sovereignty of Venezuela and its more than 60-year economic war against Cuba has been bipartisan, from Trump to Nancy Pelosi to the silence of Ocasio-Cortez. It's both parties that have intervened in that way. The only way that we can make progress is by organizing independently of them and have no faith in any of those parties. The U.S. government's foreign policy is an extension of what they do to us right here. You know, right here, the cops say they're to protect and to serve. Well, we know from the case of Eric Garner and others, they protect and serve the rich, is not to protect and serve working people. That's the same thing that they want to do in Venezuela and around the world. Washington claims that the more than 20,000 Cuban internationalist volunteers in Venezuela are soldiers. That's just a lie. They're predominantly doctors, healthcare workers, teachers that go to the most isolated areas in solidarity with the people of Venezuela. Well, we know how they always lie to try to justify their intervention. The fact is, Cuba is the only free country in the Americas in the world, and that's why they would never tell another country what to do or violate their sovereignty. The people of Venezuela need time and space to fight for their own way forward, to face the crisis in the way that they choose to face it. Whenever U.S. imperialism intervenes, it's never on the side of working people. It's always on the side of the rich. So we demand U.S. hands off Venezuela, hands off Cuba, hands off Iran. Thank you.
Okay. This is, very briefly, Tariq Haskins from the Black Panther Party, Universal Zulu Nation.
Okay, peace family. I'm gonna be brief. As you know, the members of the U.S. ruling class said that they got all the options are on the table, including a military option when they're dealing with the Maduro government of Venezuela. But when they said that, they also meant that the military option is on the table for those persons who support Venezuela and for those persons who support Cuba. Now you are here in spite of them saying that, and I love you because you are courageous people for being here. The people in Venezuela, they love you for being here, for having the courage to be here. The people in Cuba, they love you for having the courage to be here. Now, as you know, on April 30th, they had a failed coup in Venezuela. We, myself and Ike and I, and a number of us were in Cuba at the time, and we were in the audience when Hugo Chavez's brother spoke to us. Hugo Chavez's brother is the ambassador to Venezuela, and he spoke to us. He spoke to us.
Que fusilen a los traidores. Fusilamiento a los traidores. Fusilamiento a los traidores. Fusílenlos.
Afuera.
Afuera, para afuera. Fusilen a los traidores.
This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. People were dying. 4 million people left the country. What does that have to do with Venezuela? It's like talking about 4 million people left Venezuela.
So then get rid of the embargo.
What does it have to do with the embargo? The embargo started last year. People replaced 4 million people. It has nothing to do with it. Okay, when did the embargo start?
That's everything to do with the United States.
When did the embargo start? When did the embargo start? When is the embargo? You're just talking bullshit.
It's very easy to live here. It's very easy to live here and not to live there.
Yeah, I am from Caracas, Venezuela.
De los ricos.
Because you are with the corrupted people. That's why you're not in jail right now. If you were one of us, we'd be in jail. Get the fuck out of here.
Can you explain to me?
Yes.
There's 4 million Venezuelans who left, emigrated. Why do you think it happened? Why? When? Okay.
Las sanciones que se van a bloquear.
Wait. Answer me. When did the sanctions start? Don't forget the individuals. Crimes. People criminals. That's not of the right
Please leave this children. I know you know. Report that to the police
I'm Venezuelan, and these people are lying about our country.
These guys are yelling and screaming. We'd like to ask them to leave. Thank you.
Welcome to home.
Yeah.
Allowed to yell and
We
scream.
were just talking to these guys.
No, I'm the first one.
Okay, can you explain to me there's 4 million people who left the country?
Nothing. Go your way. Everybody back home. Everybody back home.
El pueblo está contigo.
¡Maduro!
Querido.
¡El pueblo está contigo!
Maduro, querido. El pueblo está contigo.
¡Maduro!
Querido. El pueblo está contigo. Maduro.
¡Querido!
El pueblo está contigo.
¡Maduro! ¡Querido! ¡El pueblo está contigo!
Maduro. Querido. El pueblo está contigo.
Que vaya con los suyos.
¡Querido! ¡El pueblo está contigo!
Maduro. Querido. El pueblo está contigo.
Other capitalist countries can't afford to let the socialist countries succeed, which is why they're so adamant about getting rid of Venezuela socialist, Cuba socialist. The Hungarian guy was a leftist guy. The United States can't afford to let a socialist government succeed. So that's why they do this stuff too.
What is socialist bad?
Why is social? I don't think it's bad, but because I think it takes away a lot of the profit, the excessive profits that corporations are making, therefore the excessive pay that some people are making, and it proves that you don't have to kind of always be, I don't know, raping your country in order to succeed. And you can actually afford to feed and medical care and house all of your people.
What is happening in Cuba?
I don't know. All I know is that the U.S. has been against Cuba ever since 1959, and they've done all they can to try to destroy the government there.
The Cuban people, they have more doctors per capita than any country around the world, and they don't only have all those doctors, but they go around the world. I went to Bolivia and I actually saw a clinic with Cuban doctors helping the indigenous people, the people native of Bolivia, and that is a big difference. Any time that a country wanted to establish some kind of socialism, and remember, only the medicine and some social progress are implemented. It's not that the whole country is a social country, but the implementation of the social system, which comes with education and medical, which we don't have here. And you know, we have the most expensive medical system around the world, and it's not any better. Okay, so Cuba, they are actually supporting the Venezuelan people, providing them with doctors, and that's what they did in Brazil. But Bolsonaro actually threw those Cuban doctors out of Brazil. So this is something that United States also wanted to destroy black and brown country. That is one of the things that they always wanted to attack. Anytime that a leader who is not white gets into power, the United States government always wanted to take them down, and that is very interesting right now. Thank you.
Thank you. That's what you say.
No, Patrick was half black, white, half.
You want my cake, honey?
It doesn't matter because he knows it.
Alejandrina,
Yeah, Alejandro.
give me your phone number because in the future I might have a panel. I have a cable show on Channel 34.
Oh yeah, she knows so much.
I know! That's the way you talk. I mean, no offense to anybody.
Yeah.
What's your phone number?
Oh, thank you. I watch your show. I do. I try to watch as much as I can. Alejandrina, 646 716. True for change. All these bullies around here.
Besides, oh my God, Alejandrina. That's the way you
Oh,
talk.
yeah.
Maduro's behavior has not been fair, shall we say. And that's, I think, lying into the United States propaganda.
You want my cake?
I don't know if you married her later on, but Castro was born. The woman used to work in used to be
Put it in front of you.
worker.
I stopped listening to her back
So you were talking about Paula Gloria's show. That was good about it was that
Yes,
she was,
one of the things that it was good about Gloria's show, was it the rabbit hole? That was the name of it?
further down.
Yeah, further down the rabbit hole. Yes. It was sometimes Gloria used to be on a bicycle, and she used to go around the city, and she used to talk about the city a little bit. And I thought that was very interesting. And I think now it would be even more interesting to see how the city has changed, how the traffic, how congested the city is with so many people. They have closed a lot of the streets. Some of the streets they only have made like one lane. So those are the kind of things that I think people would like to see, especially people that they have lived in the city for a long time. And we are a little bit disappointed to see all these changes, because I don't think some of these changes have been for the good of the city and for the good of the people that they have lived here for a long time. So here we are in a Union Square. It's a very crowded area, but I think it's good to show that the people, they still use that open space, because as you know, a lot of the open space, they have a lot of now rules and regulations that you can't be there until 10. After 10, you could get arrested. And even here now, sometimes the park is closed. You cannot even go into the park anymore at Union Square. Union Square Park used to be open 24/7. They also, another big danger that they did was they didn't want people to sit down around, and I think it has something to do with the homeless. With the homeless, they used to have all the way over there. They used to have the benches right by the fountain, and people came and they sat there. So now they removed those benches too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
It is a shortage of places.
It's a shortage of places to sit down, but not only that, it's a shortage of places that you could be around until midnight or 1 o'clock at night. At one time, because Occupy wanted to take this the Union Square, the plaza, So what they did was they were cleaning the plaza with water every single night. And since Occupy was here and was trying to take over the park, they started, they don't let the people stay on the park until midnight. So you could get in trouble. The only thing that is open now are, the steps that you could see down. But I think it's I thought her show was very interesting about showing, going around the city and see what was happening in the city back then. So, but I think it would be interesting to have it again to see what is happening in the city now, because there is a lot of things that is happening in the city right now at this time. Thank you.
No, I know.
Take another bus ride.
I know. I can't really take my. I have problem with my legs, so I can't go around.
You know Robinson's birthday?
His birthday? Yeah, his birthday is July 2nd, I believe.
No, he's not even strange in a non.
Yeah, I'm always a little bit.
Is his apartment full of books?
He has a lot of books. He has a lot of things. But I know that he watches your show all the time. He's one of those people that always watch your Truth for Change. And if he doesn't, he's not awake because he's retired a long time ago. He used to work for the MTA. He just and his name is Charles Robinson, and he lives on 90th Street. And when he doesn't have a chance to watch the show at 10, which it comes from 10 to 11, he actually tapes your show. So he's one of those people that...
When's your birthday?
My birthday? My birthday is January 16. I'm a Capricorn, and I get along a lot with Capricorns.
And also with July.
Yes. My husband is July 18th. Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I made a mistake.
Thank you.
Thanks for the interview.
The only
last year when they had it at so they're doing a little bit of censorship, and I don't like that. They're having two plenaries this year. One is about Stonewall, this is the 50th anniversary, and the other is like what is to be done, what are the next steps? And I said there's one answer to that question, and it's been the same since I've been alive, and it's called revolution. And they just didn't know what to respond to.
July 26th.
They don't know a lot of things. They're supposedly well educated, but they don't know like what's going on.
What
I have
is
a
an
friend who
episode like? I don't know.
I have a friend who has MS, and she has episodes, and the episodes are different for everyone depending on the extent of your MS. So, like my neighbor has MS, and he is in a wheelchair, but he picks up his wheelchair and walks. So, I think it's different for everybody. I'm gonna go buy strawberries at the farmer's market before the season ends.
I was amazed.
Shouldn't be a total loss.
I was amazed at the collection of plants they had on Wednesday. There were like 4 or 5 different vendors of household plants to put on your
where? On Wednesday? Oh yeah, so they're here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and Saturday?
The same people?
No, I don't know. I'm only here because of the demonstration.
Yeah, this was farmers.
Okay.
Sure. So how's your lettering? You think you could do this and this?
818-2668.
I'll write like I'm a teacher, because I am.
It may bleed a little bit. It's fresh. Well, you started the H too early.
Hi.
Done. You got my. And you said you're Jason, right?
Jason, yes. What's your last name?
Yes, it's E-R-I. I hear music.
L-L-T.
Why did you send it to one?
It's B for boy.
Good?
You gotta wear it now.
Oh! I'm gonna take it home.
All right.
I'm gonna put it in my bag. Here's your marker. Thank you. Thank you.
Whoop, you got half the marker.
Here you go. Sorry about that. So are you all Gusanos in disguise? So Shep told me that when the cops went over there, and I went over to watch the cops, that Shep had to instruct the cops what to say and do.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I believe that. 'Cause,
believable.
You know, if they had just done something that was stupid, you know, but Shep knows how to like talk to the police and, you know, I mean, you got to get training for that if you do security. I mean, when I did security for 5,000 people marching from, I forgot where we started, but we marched to, it was the Republican National Convention. This was years ago. And,
Óyeme, cógele tú ves esa que está ahí, ella está cogiendo, you know, she's taking pictures of all of us over and over, and now
Does
she's
she work with
pointing.
you?
Yeah, she doesn't work with me. I don't know who she is.
Should go with you?
But just take a few pictures of her or put her on the, because that's what she's
Pictures of
doing.
her.
Yeah. Take a few pictures, few videos of her.
And you have to stay there for now. You know, it's very important to learn how to
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
It doesn't have to be political.
Right.
You're traveling.
Yeah, just as a result of this, that liability and breaking the fight.
That's right. Or prevention.
Right. Yeah.
They start talking like they know what's up. They start
There are two parts in